This is Late Night Health. This is the radio show that cares about the most important part of your life, your health. Hi, I'm Mark Alyn. During the next 2 hours, the insane Daryl Wayne and I are going to present some ideas regarding health. Everything from making tough decisions about end-of-life care when you have dementia to what about what's in your supplements and everything in between. We're going to be talking with a young woman who says, I'm fat. So what? And we'll also spend some time today with Robert Clancy talking about enthusiasm. One of the more important segments of our show, we'll also talk about Medicare enrollment. I've got a stack of enrollment forms here and stuff. Everybody wants me to talk about their particular product. And we'll be talking about an expert, Peter Collis, in the next half hour of the show. We go right now to, I'm not even sure where you are, Steve. Steve Peirce. He is the founder of RIBUS. It is a rice-based company. You manufacture products from rice. Is that correct? Providing raw ingredients?
That is correct. RIBUS is based in St. Louis, Missouri, so in the middle part of the United States. And we use the rice bran and the rice hulls, which are the two outermost layers of the rice grain. Most people think of white rice. We use the bran and the hulls to make specialty ingredients instead of some of those chemistry lab sounding ingredients.
You know, I was looking at some products recently, and magnesium stearate, I think, is in them. And I've been told that what they use that for is it's not a filler, but it makes the whatever goes into that capsule easier to go into the capsule.
Correct. Actually, think of it almost like motor oil in the engine of a car. It is a lubricant. It helps the pieces and parts slide together easier, whether you're making a tablet or a capsule. Been used for many years, but it's synthetic. And we're able to use the bran of the rice, the hull of the rice, sunflower oil, and a couple of gums in order to make either an organic or a natural lubricant that is a very good alternative to magnesium stearate, and we go on the label as rice extract blend.
Wow, which is all natural.
Yes, sir, natural or even certified organic if somebody is making that type of product.
Interesting. You've, because of magnesium stearate and other non-real products that go into supplements, you have created something that I think is really important, and that is what we're going to be talking about. You've created the Clean Label Alliance, which allows consumers to look at a product X, the Steve, Mark, and Daryl vitamin. Oh, that's not a bad idea, Steve. Anyway, the Steve, Mark, and Daryl vitamin, and look at that label and know that everything in it is, in quote, clean. Can you explain that?
Well, clean label means different things to different people. And I kind of look at it as an umbrella, which many different things go under. Some people it's kosher, some it's non-GMO, some it may be gluten-free. But each person's kind of got their own definition of clean label. When you start sourcing alternative ingredients to the chemistry lab sounding ingredients, sometimes you need some technical assistance. And this Clean Label Alliance is built of really 5 leading companies around the world that are able to help the contract manufacturers produce that clean label supplement so that you can take things like the magnesium stearate or maybe silicon dioxide off of the label and replace it with a much more natural sounding or even certified organic ingredient.
I've always wondered about that because I do not manufacture vitamins. I've been in the alternative health and the products area marketing for years and years and years.
Sure.
And I've always asked the question, why do we need that in there? The silicon, the magnesium stearate. And you've explained it quite well. And they being other manufacturers, marketers, producers of products, say, well, we can't find anything else that'll help us get our product, the main ingredient, vitamin C, into that veggie cap.
Absolutely.
And to allow consumers to know that, hey, there's something in that. There's something in there that's actually not bad for you.
You are spot on. And what we tell people is, yes, consumers want a clean label, something more natural. And if we look kind of at history and you go back to post-World War II, all the way up through maybe the 1990s, we were focused on better living through chemistry. And the scientists were very good at what they did, and they developed products and brought many things out. But sometime around the 1990s, going into 2000, the consumers started saying, I like what you're doing, but can you do it more natural? And the producer said, well, I would, but I don't have the alternatives. And one of the questions that we ask, and at RIBUS, we have been focused on looking back at nature and where can we find those functional ingredients that are really needed in order to produce a product, but can we find them in nature rather than the chemistry lab?
The operative word that you just said is functional. What do you mean by a functional product or ingredient that goes into the Steve, Mark, and Daryl product?
Well, it has to do something. And just as you said a minute ago, Steve, Mark, and Daryl, let's say we're marketing a vitamin C. And that's where all the excitement and the thrill and the plans begin, is whether it's that vitamin C or whatever the new active ingredient of the day is. And whether it's curcumin or whatever the new ingredient for the year is, that's what we're focusing on. That's going to be the headline on our product. And that's what the consumer wants. But when you get it out to the production line, production needs or requires something that is going to lubricate the machinery, something that's going to allow the powders to flow well, and they may need a flow agent. That's where silicon dioxide has come in for years. RIBUS now offers rice hulls as an alternative to silicon dioxide. So that production operator, he needs ingredients that will allow him to run the machine at full speed, make a capsule that goes together well, and looks good when the consumer opens it up.
And what about any functionality? I mean, vitamin C, we know, has been studied all over the place. It's an antioxidant. Does your ingredient have any function other than lubricating the pill machines?
Well, it makes the machine work better, which the lubricant, you would need it. It's the first step. But secondly, because it is coming from the bran of the rice, there are a lot of B vitamins, iron, zinc, magnesium, a lot of nutrients that are in the bran of the rice the consumer would get versus just a synthetic, idle lubricating compound.
Taking a look at this is revolutionary. This is revolutionary. There's just no question in my mind.
This is what the consumer is looking for, and that's why we have been very blessed and have enjoyed the growth that we've been through the last few years. We've got the ingredients that function for the production team, but yet they give the consumer what they want. And when we talk clean label, and these are words that I've made up, the consumer, in their mind, they don't use the word clean label. But if they want a clean label, first of all, they want to be able to pronounce it. And magnesium stearate and silicon dioxide, we probably haven't talked about it since high school chemistry. First, you've got to pronounce it. And then secondly, do you have an idea where it comes from? There is no mag stearate tree. There is not a silicon dioxide bush. But when you say rice hulls, people say, okay, yeah, I know it's rice. I know, it's the hull of the rice. and they can look that up very quickly. And in your opening remarks, Mark, you've said something that was very important. That's my third characteristic of clean label. Does the consumer feel good after they've taken the product? Does the mom think that she's done something that's better for her child versus the chemistry lab sounding ingredient?
Yeah, if I can't pronounce it, and believe me, I have pronunciation problems, and I am a professional pronunciator, as you know, and I can't pronounce some of these things in there, and if I can't pronounce it, I don't want it in my body. I real quick, you have a degree in agribusiness. Did you grow up on a farm in Louisiana?
Grew up in Louisiana, lived in Baton Rouge, lived in town, but my grandparents had a farm and a ranch just outside of town. So I got the best of both sides of the world, in town as well as the good, country upbringing, if you will.
And, of course, not that far from the Big Easy, New Orleans. All right, we're going to take some time out. Our guest is Steve Peirce. He is the founder of RIBUS. It's a natural foods company that produces ingredients for supplement companies. It's a terrific company. I met Steve not too long ago. Actually, I think I interviewed him on video. All right, we're going to take some time out, turn the program back over to Daryl Wayne, and we will be back. We invite you to join us at latenighthealth.com, latenighthealth.com, where you'll learn all about clean labels.
Love may be deposited to and withdrawn from your heart at any time, but your true wealth lies in the investments you've made in the hearts of others. Be the sun today, for this is your day to shine. Allow the rains to wash away your pain, and let the fresh air clear you of your despair. May the dawn's light be your everlasting hope that you've made it through even the darkest of nights. Love always takes you to a place you need to be, and you need to be at home in your heart. Be filled with this joy. Namaste.
For more inspiration from Robert Clancy, visit guidetothesoul.com or go to the Moments with Robert page on latenighthealth.com.
The stigma around mental health disorders and suicide is still very strong in our culture. It's an uncomfortable topic for many of us, and yet it's something we can't afford to ignore, according to Dan Shuck, the author of A Glass Half Empty or Half Full, a children's book for grown-ups. Last month, the CDC released a study that reports suicide rates went up more than 30% in half the states since 1999. A Glass Half Empty or Half Full, a children's book for grown-ups, takes a new approach to addressing mental illness. The book playfully explores pessimism versus optimism to find balance, manage stress, and enjoy life. The book uses humor to provide an opportunity to determine the fullness of our own glass and how to apply it to our daily lives. Donations from the proceeds of the book will be made to a Glass Half Question fundraising campaign for the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation. A Glass Half Empty or Half Full, a children's book for grown-ups, is available from Amazon.com, Kindle, and Barnes & Noble. For more information, visit www.glasshalfquestion.com.